Welcome back. We're doing another Christmas winter cozy reading vlog. I am so excited for this vlog, and I have a selection of 4 books that we're going to be reading. I recently did a book haul, I'll link it above, so we have quite a few picks from that. So let's hop in. These are all either Christmas or winter mysteries or one thriller. So let's hop in. So the first one I'm super excited to start reading is Getaway with Murder by Diane. This is part of the Mountain Lodge mystery series. There's 3 books out in this series so far, and I've heard so many good things about it, but my library doesn't have it. They turned down my request to get it. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna get it. I'm gonna get it myself. And basically we have our main character. Her name is Misty Murphy. Misty Murphy is celebrating a landmark birthday, but she's also getting a divorce, and it is quite friendly. They're not parting on bad terms. They have some adult sons, but she is ending up with some kind of like settlement from like splitting whatever they owned, and she decides to invest that into a mountain lodge, which needs a lot of repairs. So she meets this handyman. Sounds like there might be a bit of romance there, and basically she has this group for a yoga retreat after the place is, you know, spiffed up and everything. And while they're there, someone ends up dying, they're murdered, and she gets involved to try to clear her business's name because it doesn't look very good to have her first guests, you know, one of them ends up dead. That's not a great look for business. So I'm very excited. There's a really cute white cat on the cover, and I can't wait. I mean, I don't know what time of year this one takes place in, but it's a mountain lodge, so I think that's just perfect setting-wise, like the perfect ambiance. I can't wait. So our Christmas one is actually a Victorian mystery by Emily Brightwell. It's recommended for people who like Downton Abbey, and it's called Miss Jeffries and the Three Wise Women. Look at that cover. So stunning. I'm just covering my library's name there, so just ignore that. But how pretty is that illustration? So it sounds like we kind of have 2 main characters. We have Inspector Witherspoon, and he is investigating this murder because basically there's like a party and this man named Christopher is shot at the party. And at first I think it's a robbery gone wrong, but 6 weeks after the murder it's still not solved. Inspector Witherspoon gets involved, and he's using his secret ally, and he uses Miss Jeffries, who's like his secret weapon, and she keeps house for him, but she also helps out with sleuthing, and she's like a Miss Marple in Victorian times. So I can't wait for this. It looks very Christmassy, and I've had a couple of you tell me that this book is really good, so I'm really excited to read it and see what I think. The thriller I picked is An Unwanted Guest by Sherry LaPena, and as you can tell from the cover, this is definitely a winter thriller, which I thought would just be perfect just to shake it up. I love reading pretty much anything in the mystery genre. Some people separate thrillers, but like anything with a mystery or like suspenseful element, I love reading anything in there from cozy to thriller. So I like to shake it up. And this one, it sounds like it's an isolation murder. It takes place in the Catskills, and Mitchell basically has this inn, and it's like a really great getaway for like a relaxing retreat, a romantic weekend, anything like that. He's got a bunch of guests there, and they get snowed in, like miserably snowed in. So much snow, they're trapped there. One of the guests dies, and they start to die one by one. Everything about that. I love winter thrillers, and I love like the one by one kind of element, the isolation trope. I'm living for that. I'm so excited, and this cover is great. I have read some of Sherry LaPena's work before, and so far I've enjoyed it for the most part, so I'm really excited to add this to my reading list. And then last but not least is a murder mystery. This one is not cozy. In fact, it's called genre bending. So I don't know how to fully describe this, but it's called Bellwether Rhapsody by Kate Radicula, and this is a novel. It basically it sounds like 2 timelines. So this here is the Bellwether Hotel, and in 1982 in Kentucky, the Bellwether Hotel was checked into by a new bride and her husband, and the bride ended up murdering her husband and then killing herself, which is obviously very upsetting, very strange. It was never solved. Well, fast forward to 1997, and now we have our main character we're following around. And our main character is Alice in 1997, and she's checking in. She's a high school drama queen. There's a music festival, and her roommate ends up actually dying again, which is really weird. So it's in the same room as the bride and the husband murder. So creepy. And there's also a snowstorm. So again, sounds like an isolation trope. Creepy setting. Love a hotel, like a cold case connection to the present. I'm very excited for this. It does describe it as a genre-bending page-turner full of knowing nods to pop culture classics from The Shining to Agatha Christie to Glee. Now, I haven't really watched any Stephen King's movies, so I've never watched The Shining. I don't know if I would be able to handle it. It sounds pretty scary, but I love Agatha Christie. I've never actually watched Glee either, but I like music, so we'll see how that goes. But I will tell you guys how that goes. I'm gonna go ahead and start with a cozy mystery because I'm just in the mood for one. We're gonna start with Getaway with Murder because I just can't wait. I've been waiting to read this series for a really long time, so I can't wait for this. And I'll give you guys an update in a little bit. Alright guys, a little bit later, I am around halfway through Getaway with Murder. I'm really enjoying it. Misty's a really great character. I think she's a thoughtful character. I think she's got a good head on her shoulders. I'm enjoying her like forming some relationships. There's like a diner next door to the mountain lodge, so she's developing a relationship with the owner and they might be like best friends, I'm thinking. The handyman seems like a really nice guy. They kind of seem to have maybe a romance budding there, and the yoga group is mostly insufferable. Most of the people in the yoga group are pretty over the top, a little insufferable for the most part, but we'll see. I haven't gotten to the murder yet, but I am very excited for this. Also, the cat's name. The cat's full name is like Baroness something, which is pretty funny, but they call her Yeti, like the snow creature, which is really funny because she is, you know, very white and fluffy. There's also a couple little instances where it's actually cut to the cat's point of view, which is pretty interesting, but it's been these really funny little like moments where the cat's like being kind of grumpy and just funny, and I like it. So far it's been really cute. So far I'm really enjoying it. I'm about I've been chapter 8 right now, so I'm you know, it's just under 300 pages, so I'm getting to a good point with this. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to give you guys an update in the morning. I've just had a really good time with this so far, so can't wait. Also, I have to show you this pin. My mom and I went to an antique store today and she bought me this pin. I've been like, you might have noticed with some of my clothing, especially in the winter time, I tend to wear pins. It's like jewelry for your clothes. It's so pretty, and I like that it doesn't like bounce around like a necklace or like go up and down my arm like bracelets, because I do so much typing and computer work that bracelets can kind of irritate me when I'm typing. But look at this pin from a thrift store. Isn't that not like just so pretty? I mean, it's so sparkly, and I don't have a Christmas tree one, so I'm very, very excited for this. I think it's just, oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. I cannot wait to wear that. I just had to show you guys. I don't know if any of you wear pins. Let me know if you like wearing pins or holiday jewelry or anything like that, because I definitely get very into it, as you can probably tell from my earrings and stuff. But I'll see you guys in the morning. And do my makeup while we do some reading updates. I have a lot. I like flew through one of these so fast, so we have a lot to go through. So we're gonna start with Getaway with Murder by Diane Kelly. So I did complete this book and I really liked it. I think I'm gonna give it a like 4 stars, I want to say. Also, check out this eyeshadow palette. I got I couldn't resist. I have no idea if these shadows are any good, but it's Scooby-Doo, and you guys know I'm a Scooby-Doo fan. Like, look at the little like imprints on there. That's so cute. Anyways, I'm really, really excited. So I really enjoyed Misty as a character. I think she's got a really good like head on her shoulders. She's not like an overly dramatic character. She seems very realistic. I like that her divorce was very like amicable, because I feel like in most fiction it's always like these divorces where they want to like murder each other, like it's really, really bad. And of course I know, you know, there are divorces that are like that, but I know there's also divorces where people just choose to kind of end things, so it's nice to see that. I liked learning a little bit more about her sons. The mystery itself was really good. I felt like the ending for it especially really cemented the 4-star rating for me, because the like final kind of clue, the connection that Misty made to solve everything was really, really clever. Like, I didn't see it coming. I thought it was really smart. I haven't really seen, I don't think I've read a mystery with like a reveal quite like that, so I really enjoyed how unique everything was. I also really, really love Misty's cat, Yeti. Yeti is such a sassy but beautiful, fun cat, and there was definitely several instances where you were reading from the cat's perspective, and it was just like a page or two, but it just added this like really cute charm to the story that I really enjoyed. If you like cats, I think you definitely would, or if you just like reading like kind of a sassy rendition of how things are going from a cat's perspective, I think it was really funny. So yeah, overall I really like it. I would recommend the Mountain Lodge series. I think it was really cute. There were some really good moments. I enjoyed all of the little yoga moments, because the book centers around a group who's coming there for like a yoga retreat, so that was kind of interesting to learn more about. So moving on to the book that I read in one sitting, because I was having kind of an off afternoon, and this was just really good. It really sucked me in. It really got me out of my head. And that is An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. So this was a great thriller. I had such a good time with this. Basically, we have a group of strangers who they don't seem to like know each other or anything, and there's like a couple of couples, and then there's like one or two like solo travelers there, and they're all together in this remote lodge. There's no like Wi-Fi, like cell service really, like it's really, really remote. And there's only like 2 staff members who are there as well, because they're so snowed in that a lot of their staff couldn't come. So it's just this father-son duo who are running the place that weekend. So at first everything's fine, you know, the guests are getting along, but one night a murder happens and things start to get really unhinged and guests start to die one by one, which so many tropes I love. You got the isolation trope. I love snow and like winter thrillers especially. You have a bunch of strangers there, you have this closed mystery, you know it's gotta be somebody on the premises because nobody can like leave this place because it's so snowed in. They're in like a blizzard. And it's just so harrowing. You're just reading and you're reading and you don't have any idea who has done it, and you are flipping around to every person's perspective, which at first was a little bit much. Like it was a lot, because I think there's like 8 or 9 people. You kind of focus on a couple central characters who you're like in their heads more often than not, but you do, I think, get a chance to flip around to everyone at one point or another, and it definitely was a lot. But I think after a couple chapters of reading, I was able to figure out, okay, this is this couple, this is this couple, and to keep everyone straight. I also liked that there was a writer on the premises. That's one of my favorite tropes, is having a writer somehow involved, just because it's fun, and she's working on her book and everything, and she's all mysterious. I liked her a lot. I was able to put together the who like done it and stuff at the end, but I didn't have the motive, and the motive was really, it was intense. I really liked it. Overall, really good thriller. Had a really good time. I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. Again, it was just a really solid read for me. Now, we did have a DNF. I only got like 40 pages and I can't do it. I'm so sorry. Like, I know I said I'd read this for this book, for this vlog. I can't do it. The writing style and me we're not super compatible. There's just something about it that's driving me crazy. And that is Bellwether Rhapsody. And I was so like excited for this book. Like, there's just so many good, again, like kind of snowed in, mysterious murder. There's a connection to like a cold case. But the book starts off with like a flashback, I guess, to the past on that night where that original murder had occurred. And it's written from, I think the girl was like 10 or 12. And this, I could not, it was not believable. Like, there was no way. Like, the way the girl was thinking and writing and, you know, like this was being told from her perspective, like, there is no way. I mean, some of it, sure, but I know, like, it's common in, like, books to have, like, the super smart, like, really wise beyond their years, like, or, I don't know, super, I couldn't do it. I was like, there's no way. But I got past that, and I was like, okay, let's just get into the present day, see how we like that. So we're reading from a couple of people's perspective. It's kind of jumping around. We're starting off with this pair of twins. They're both heading off to this music like orchestra thing that they've been selected to participate in. They're really accomplished musicians. Okay, great. Now, I'm not a huge music person. Like, I don't play an instrument. I don't have, I guess, like a super interest in music as a whole. But I thought it was still like an interesting idea, but there were so many details that it really bogged the story down for me. And like I said, I'm used to reading cozy mysteries. This isn't a cozy mystery, but I am used to reading books that have a lot of slice of life moments, but this I just found really boring. It was just so much music. And again, the characters we're reading from, I think they were 12. I could not, like, I was like, no. I really, like, it felt way too maturely written for a 12-year-old, in my opinion. Like, it didn't feel very believable. And then On top of that, it felt like every couple of paragraphs we'd be having like a mini flashback. Like something would happen where it felt like, oh, you know, this person's using this, like, I don't know, I can't think of an example, but like they're using this teacup, and then they'd have this flashback of how this teacup reminds them of this childhood memory, like, and it just was like excessive to me. I felt like I was just getting really bored. I couldn't get through it. Like, I wanted to get through it. I didn't even get to like a real like plot point. It just felt like all we had gotten through with like the 40-50 pages I had read was the little flashback at the beginning from like the cold case murder, and then we flashed forward to the future and we're introduced to a few characters, and they basically traveled to this hotel, and that's like all that's happened mostly. Then it just was like, okay. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is pretty much the finished look. I'm just gonna put on this like lip balm. It's a Wet n Wild Rose Comforting Lip Color. It feels much more like a tinted lip balm, which is nice because it's definitely drier out right now, so that's nice. But this is the finished look. I think it turned out pretty well. But anyways, those are my thoughts on our first couple of reads. We had 2 4 stars between the winter thriller and the cozy, and then unfortunately we have a DNF with that. Just the writing style, it could be a really amazing mystery. I don't know, I just couldn't quite get into the writing style, which I'm really disappointed about. I really wanted to love it. But I'm going to start the Miss Jeffries Christmas cozy, so that'll be our final read. Quick reading update on this. I have Miss Jeffries and the Three Wise Women. I'm about halfway through this book. So far I'm really enjoying it. What I have to say though is the pacing is kind of slow. It's definitely more like a classic murder mystery where it's very much like go interview people, come back, talk about what you've interviewed people. It's like it's a little repetitive, I'll say. And you do have Miss Jeffries and her friends who are helping her, the other people in the household, as well as information you're getting from the inspector. So they're all kind of working together. There's some Christmas spirit. I do like those touches. I don't really have a solid idea of who did it. Like, I really don't have any idea. I don't know. I'm just kind of like here for the ride. It's not really a mystery where I feel like I'm actively trying to solve it like I do with most mysteries, but I also kind of do that with like Agatha Christie or Golden Age style mysteries. I just kind of go for the ride more. So maybe it's more like that. We'll see. I'm excited for the conclusion. I do like Miss Jeffries as a character. I think she's really awesome. I would like to go back and read, I think, some of the earlier books in the series to have a better idea of who is who with the characters in the household. But they do all seem to have some interesting backstories and personalities, which I think is fun. And yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. It's fun. It's kind of like feels more like Golden Age, a little slower paced, a little more interview styled. Not too much like active sleuthing in terms of there being like action or them like breaking into people's houses or stuff like that. It's more just like questioning people, talking to them, trying to get like different stories and the clues from people, which is fine. It's just a different style. So keep that in mind if you're considering this book. But so far I'm enjoying it. I'd give it like a 3.5 so far, but we'll see how I end up. Alright guys, final update on Miss Jeffries. This was good, but not an all-time favorite. We're talking maybe 3 to 3.5 stars. I like it. I like Miss Jeffries. I would like to go back and read one of the earlier ones in the book, maybe see how the characters kind of develop from there. But I did have a good time with this. I just, kind of like I mentioned earlier, it just felt kind of repetitive. It just felt like the characters would go out, they would interview people, and then they come back and they discuss what they interviewed and like summarize what we had just read, and it just felt very repetitive to me, but overall it was a good ending. It was a good, like, cozy, had some good Christmas feels to it. I love the cover, like I said, so I do feel like, you know, if you like Downton Abbey like it says, I think this is a good recommendation for that, but I do want to check out some more in the series. So not an all-time favorite, but overall I'd say this was a really successful reading vlog. I really loved Getaway with Murder, and I really loved An Unwanted Guest. Those were like top hits for me. This one was solid, not an all-time favorite, but good. And then Bellwether Rhapsody, obviously we didn't quite knock it out of the park with, but oh well, you know, I'm not gonna hit them all. They're not all gonna be my favorites, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know down below, have you read any of these books? Did you enjoy them? Even if your thoughts are different than my own, I would love to hear it. It's always fun to talk about books in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like cozy vlogs like this. If you like reading mysteries and thrillers, you're gonna love this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!